the only tactic you will need from now until FM24, I promise. Today we're looking at a standard 4-4-2. It is goals galore, it is wing play, it is counter-attacks. It's a tremendous strike partnership with a target forward and an advanced forward. We've got inverted wing backs as well to help with transitions. You're not going to keep clean sheets, but it is exceptionally entertaining. I've been playing it with a season and a half with my Everton side. We've got them into the Champions League. We're in a title race. And it's been pretty spectacular. Alright guys, so in today's video we're going to go through the 4-4-2. We're going to go through all the team instructions, all the playing instructions. For you Patreons, you get the download for free. So you head over to the Patreon right now. There will be a tactic link in the Patreon post. Take that file and put it straight into your FM23 tactics folder. Said everyone else, if you would like to support the channel and get every weekly tactic that comes through as a direct download, go and drop a little Patreon subscription. That would be muchly appreciated. £3 a month. We're nearly up to 50 Patreon subscribers. So obviously this kind of format has proved popular. If not, don't worry. I will go through every team, player, custom instructions, everything you need so you can stop it and cover everything yourself and build it yourself. All right, let's go and check out this wonderful 4-4-2. Okay, so here it is. A standard 4-4-2. Now, just so you know, results-wise, there you go. At the moment, we are second. This is the third season with Everton. I took over halfway through the first season with the updated real database. So I took over on February the 1st, guided them to safety. I think we finished about 15th or 16th. Where did we finish? 15th. And then we moved it over then into the new tactic with the signings that we made. We got 5th place in Season 2. And then this year we're looking at hopefully again maintaining a Champions League place. We ended up finishing 5th, but because Arsenal won the Europa League, we got a Champions League place, which has obviously really helped with player recruitment. Now, I put this tactic together based on a few little things. Okay, number one, I just wanted to do something a little bit different. I love playing with front twos, and a lot of tactics at the moment, you're always looking at a 3 and a 2 and a 1 with 2 wide players, or a 3 and a 1 behind. I just like a bit of classic football, and when I did the Sir Alex Ferguson 99 treble winning side with the David Beckham role on this right hand side, I saw so much success with balls clipped in from a wider area with the 2 strikers chasing on, or balls clipped into like a striker who could nod it down for the forward. So I thought, right, let's implement that. Let's get these 2 players in here that are going to be really aggressive, really athletic, up and down, box to box, getting late runs into the box. On the left-hand side, we're kind of recreating just a bog standard winger. We're not after him to do much apart from cross directly. Obviously, McNeil is a really good role. And then on the right side, we said, after that David Beckham role, I thought, who is the modern version of David Beckham? Luckily for me, Southampton got relegated at the end of season 1, so I was able to bring James Ward-Prowse in. And he has notched up 15 assists last season, and not as many this year, actually. What's he doing? What's he playing at? 8 assists in all comps, but only 4 in the league. But a really nice little position. He does just clip lovely balls down the line for Dominic Calvert-Lewin to chase. And then at the back, we don't keep many clean sheets, to be totally honest, but it is all about going forward and goals. And then we've got 2 inverted wing-backs on defend, and the idea is that when the player's pushed up, McNeil into these areas, and it'll end up being a little bit of a system like that. What I want these 2 to do is to come into these areas when we're in possession. Obviously, when we're out of possession, they go back into their sort of like their full-back areas, and we work with a 4-4-2. But I want us to line up a little bit like that. Just so, to be fair, Ward-Prowse could be more like that. Just so that if we do get a loss of possession in and around sort of like the middle third, we do have these 2 in here. They not automatically won't just go back into the full-back areas. They help with what I like to call rest defence. I'm going to do a video on rest defence in terms of the positioning of our players when we're going forward and the players that are not involved in the attack. I don't want them to get forward. As I said, we're quite direct. I'm asking McNeil to cross it early. I'm asking Ward-Prowse to cross it early. We're just really banking on the 2 strikers being in form and late runs from the 2 central midfielders. So not asking a lot from them, apart from can they be in there? And then if there's a loss of possession in the middle of midfield, we haven't got, if there's a loose pass from our centre halves in this area here, and we haven't got that massive hole, they're going to come in here. They need to be good on the ball. They need to be good on the ball because they do get the ball a lot. We often play it into there and then we play it out wide. We don't just go long ball all the time. Okay, so that is a couple of key principles of why I've put it together. Now, what we're going to do is go through the team, go through the play roles, and what kind of player that you need for each role. Okay, so sweeper keeper on defend only for Jordan Pickford. He has got no player instructions. Inverted wingbacks, no player instructions for them either. If you wanted to be really cautious with it, you could put on take fewer risks. Ball playing defender on the right, and what I'm trying to recreate with that is that long sweeping pass. So I have a long sweeping pass to the two centre forwards because they're both very good in the air. We'll talk about them in a minute, but a long pass to the two centre strikers, or with a right-footed defender, that long raking pass out to the left-hand side where McNeil is waiting for the ball. He's staying wide in possession. So that's what we're trying to recreate with that. A bog-standard central defender right next to him. And I said, no player instructions as well for that left-hand side with the inverted wing-back. Into the middle of midfield, we've got Ward-Prowse with a load of player instructions. Take more risks, cross more often, cross from deep, really important. Dribble less because obviously he's not a dribbler, and sit narrow. These were kind of instructions that I did for David Beckham. I don't think I put the sit narrow on, but what I'm trying to recreate with that, if we just go back into the tactic, just say we've got our 4-4-2 like this. Obviously that guy there who's playing as the central midfield, Thuram, who plays as my central midfielder on attack, I just want him to sit narrow. So once again, it just helps with us in transitions a little bit. It gives us an extra body in the middle of midfield. I know him when it changes like that. Why'd you do that, Football Manager? It helps without possession as well. We're forcing play out wide. We're nice and solid in the midfield. I think sometimes as well, you come across a load of teams playing with like a flat 3 or a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-1-2-3-1, so or whatever, 4-2? No, 4-1-2-2-1. So sometimes you get outnumbered. So I've just got Ward-Prowse in there just helping out. Take more risks because I want him. He's so clever, obviously, Ward-Prowse. Brilliant technicals. And then obviously we have the advanced forward, which is normally my two boys. I've had them on the bench. I've been giving them a rest. Calvert-Lewin and Beto. They're my two boys. Calvert-Lewin is so good at chasing channels, running into this right space, this right channel. So we don't necessarily need someone because we're trying to get the ball forward a little bit earlier as well. We don't really need to wait for the wing backs and stuff to get forward. Okay, so take more risks, cross more often, cross from deep, early crosses into the box, dribble less and sit narrower for that role. Central midfielder on attack, no player instructions. We just want him gut bursting runs. We do get back into shape as well, though. It isn't as if out of possession he's going to be up here. He does try and get back in to make the 4. And the box-to-box midfielder. Now, what I've created here in the central midfield, I'm going to give myself a pat on the back because I think my recruitment has been really good in terms of I know what I want from this team. Central midfield, it's all about pace, energy, power. Can they do those long gut bursting runs into the penalty area? We know Conor Gallagher did that so well at Crystal Palace. He's been a really good signing for me so far. Box-to-box midfielder, can do both. Thuram, central midfielder on attack, can do both. We've also got Youssef Fofana, can do both roles. And we've also still got Anana, can do both roles. A lot of energy required in there. Now that we're playing in Europe, a lot of rotation. So I've made sure that I've got 4 central midfielders, all can do a job. And we've even got players like James Garner, can act as a backup. We've also got Golovin, who's been playing as a wide player for me. He can do the central midfielder on attack. Obviously, Ward-Prowse can sit in there. Lots of options for us to rotate and move around in there. So that would be my suggestion. Make sure you've got at least 4 central midfielders at pace, power, energy. Can they get on the end of things as well in the penalty area? We're not asking too much from them in the technical sense. The idea is that we get the ball out wide and we get balls in the box. And then on the left-hand side, we've been using Dwight McNeil, who had a really good second season with us when we went to this tactic. 10 assists in the Premier League. You know, he's not the amazing, but what he does well, he can cross it. He's got good energy, good pace, good work rate, kind of a good all-rounder, but we're just looking at that crossing and dribbling. I don't ask him, I used to have him on attack, but I don't want that. We want the ball to be crossed in quite early. It'll also help us with our shape. Obviously, if he's going to be attacking, he's going to be a lot further forward, and then we'll get caught maybe a little bit on transition. So he's just going to be a little bit deeper. We've got no real player instructions on there. You could ask him to cross from deep, but I've just left that off because we're asking Ward-Prowse to do that cross from deep. I've left it off. I don't want him crossing from the byline because that means then he's going to get further forward. I just want him to do it naturally when he thinks the time is right. And then on to these two. These two have caused complete havoc in the Premier League over the last 18 months. Beto, who I'm going to do a standalone video on, target forward on attack. He's already scored 17 goals so far this season. Last season he scored 25 Premier League goals alongside Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who has also scored an absolute shit ton. He scored 30 goals, so a strike partnership of 55. They work so well together. And at the same time, again, recruitment's been clever. Calvert-Lewin can obviously do target forward. Beto can obviously do advance forward. My two backups, Duvan Zapata, can also do backup strikers, both roles. And the young, is it Biello? People have probably signed him a lot. He's coming on really nicely. Can do both roles with his physicality. Work rate, not the best. But what we're after, key attributes, I think, for the target forward and the advance forward. Pace, power, strength, strength, hold up play, being able to get the ball in. Work rate as well will always help. And then obviously we need that. We're finishing, obviously, but we need that pace. The pace is key when we talk about the out of possession instructions and how we break. Pace is key. Now Biello doesn't have the best of pace, but these two do. Beto and Calvert-Lewin so good at stretching play, running into channels, exploiting where wing backs have come forward on the other side. On the other team. No player instructions for either target forward and advanced forward. Okay, into the mentality. We've gone positive mentality, pass into space. Fairly wide. We're not wanting to be overly wide. I do want a little bit of width, but I just think fairly wide just gives us that good balance. Said we're only really wanting McNeil to be wide anyway. The rest of us can be pretty compact. We're asking Ward-Prowse to more clip balls over the top and into the channels rather than being like a guy that's going to get into that final third and crossing. He will do it naturally when you build up play more with a sort of like a progressive build up, taking our time. He will get into these sort of like deeper, these wider areas in the final third, so he'll still cross. Approach play, pass into space. I want to exploit the fullbacks coming forward for the other team, getting those two strikers splitting and working channels. Slightly shorter passing. I still think it's important to try and gain a little bit of control over games. So we did have it on more direct, but we were really low possession numbers and the ball was sometimes coming back. I said, we want to encourage a little bit of dribbling, want to encourage a little bit of build-up. We want, obviously, as well, we want McNeil and we want Ward-Prowse on the ball. I don't want my two fullbacks punting long. I don't really want my ball playing centre-half to even do it. We want to get that ball into the middle third. I think, obviously, the short of the pass distance, a 30-yard pass is better than a 60-yard pass. So that's why we've tried to get slightly shorter on. Higher tempo, it is busy, getting the ball back quickly, aggressively and playing forward. Early crosses, we're asking Ward-Prowse to do it anyway. Obviously, we want McNeil to do it. Get balls in the box early with our two big central strikers. And then no other player instructions in there. Out of possession, counter press and counter. Everything else left blank. I've let Jordan Pickford go long. He rolls it short. He rolls it to fullbacks. Plays it out to the wingers. He goes long to the the central strikers. I've left that completely blank. I did have, for the second season, I did have that off. But now, because we're becoming a bit of a stronger team, I want us to dominate games a little bit more. However, that's on a little bit of a trial and error. Counter is always on, obviously, but I did have that completely blank for Season 2. And then on to the defensive shape. I've gone for a mid-block. Couple of reasons. One, so we don't get caught out as much. Just general high line, balls over the top. We're trying to dominate games when we're not the best of teams. And then at the same time, the mid-block just allows us to be able to counter, I think, a little bit better. We're allowing that press. We're allowing a team to come onto us just a little bit. So obviously their defensive line is going to be a little bit higher. But playing against teams, the better teams that are flying fullbacks forward, they're going to then leave spaces in these areas here. So if there is a quick transition in the middle of midfield, we've got Ward-Prowse being a little bit tight. We're trying to be kind of really nice and compact in the middle midfield with our pressing trappers outside. If we do win it, because of the in-possession instructions we've got, we can then clip balls over and exploit spaces left by the opponent's fullbacks. It also helps us being a little bit more compact. I'm worried that if we press and chase everything, we'll get played around. We've not got a sitting midfielder either, and I'll leave big gaps in sort of like the middle in between our defence and midfield. So that's why I've gone for a mid-block. More often trigger press, don't prevent short distribution. Quite happy for their centre-halves to get the ball and us line up in that mid-block. Trap outside. I'm going to force the play across to a side and obviously stay quite compact with that 4. Try and help out that middle of midfield whenever we can. And that is it. Okay, so those are all the playing team instructions. Opposition instructions, I do it just what I see in game. Often, if it's a lone central striker, I will often ask them to mark tighter. I will also ask my inverted wingbacks to mark wingers. Depend on just what I see in game, rather than having set instructions for every single game. Alright, so let's go and see some highlights and show you how this 4-4-2 looks in the match engine. Okay, so ball's gone back to the goalkeeper, said Jordan Pickford's allowed to do whatever. He does often, to be fair, he does often go long, but that's fine because of the physical profile we've got with the 2 strikers. We'll watch the little bit of movements of the inverted wing-backs on defend. So as you can see now, we've got them. They're coming in narrower, and it just helps. Just helps with any transitions we have. By the looks of it, they're playing a 4-2-3-1. So obviously they're going to have high wingers, probably that dude and that dude there. And then obviously they've got the shadow striker and then the number 9. But what we're trying to make sure is that if the ball was turned over now, because we're pushing with our 2 central midfielders, we're moving on to their DMs, we would have a huge hole in here. Imagine if that was a wing back. If Godfrey was playing as a wing back, he would be out this way here. And obviously Kyle Walker-Peters would be out there, leaving a bigger hole. So if there is a headed down, Walker-Peters, Godfrey are in a positions here to help out, kind of acting as 2 DMs. I said that rest defence, that I don't want them to get involved in build-up or anything like that. Just if we lose the ball, there's a turnover, there's a transition, we're in a better place there with those 2 inverted wing-backs. Ball's gone long. We've actually, Zapata, by the looks of it, it's Zapata and Beto up front. So Beto is playing as the advance forward. Second balls, lot of second balls, out toward Prowse, quick pass. Central midfielder on attack, running from deep. We've now got 3 boys acting as pretty much like advanced forwards. We've got 2 guys ahead of their defenders. Quick counter, kind of like a quick counter attack. Second balls, quick plays, channel balls, balls in the box, playing really well. There's Ward Prowse, look, starting deep, passing it early. Look, McNeil keeping his width. Look at our 2 DMs. Our two inverted defenders, I think they're in a really good position. I think if the ball does come out here, yes, but I'd rather have gaps out wide than gaps through the middle. Lovely pick out from Ward Prowse. Are we on the second balls? Yes, we are. Ball in the box. So many headers. Obviously, heading, for looking at your target forwards. Generally, if you sign a target forward, your heading is pretty good. Gallagher involved. We lose possession, but once again, that's the right midfielder who's coming short. Kyle Walker-Peters, I think if he was playing as an advanced, sort of like a more advancing fullback, he would be out here. That would give that Katai opportunity to really have space. We get the ball back. We play very simple. Crossing. Beto often crosses them across the 6-yard box for those sort of like sweaty FIFA finishes as well. Tarkowski, ball playing defender for that big switch that we wanted. And this is just basics. Just basics. Good crosser, good header, 2 guys attacking the penalty box. And it's just really good to see in the match engine. I think sometimes with my Eagles save that I've been running, you can often just work on build-up play all the time. And you build up, 25 passes. And then that 26th pass, the match engine will just decide to do something stupid. And you lose the ball and the other team goes downhill. And this kind of counteracts that by not giving the match engine the opportunity to screw you over. We're being really direct, really simple, really aggressive. Lovely. And then Dwight McNeil cutting in, actually on his right foot. Lovely finish. This was in the Champions League. Yes, it's only Red Star, but we've had a really good performance this year. You dominate games. There's always shots. There is always shots on goal. Let's see a Beto hat-trick. Beto, by the way, boys. Beto is my FM23 boy. He's my favourite player of FM23. You can get him second season, get him for as little as 10 million up to about 15 million. So you're any club in the top 5 divisions, do whatever you can to sign him from Udinese. Simple ball. Like we do bounce on obviously a horrendous mistake by the defender there. But it's simple. Look at our 2 defenders, 2 inverted wing-backs coming in nice and there again. Coming wide with it to find a little bit of space. Ward Prowse, dribble less, take more risks. Just clip it over the top for Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Obviously, Dominic Calvert-Lewin's got the pace. You need to make sure that you have the advanced forward who does have a little bit more pace. Cross, pounces on the rebound. Beto loves just smashing them in. Off against central midfielder, look, coming deep. I think we worry about that central midfielder on attack, about his starting positions. He does help him build up, but what he will do is, I imagine now we'll watch him. He's off, look. I think he's going to spring into life, is he? He's going to get on third man runs. We've also got the box-to-box midfielder. It's kind of aggressive, but as I said, because we've got those two inverted wing-backs, they're acting as a little bit of a backup for us, and Beto absolutely smashes it in. But everything is quick. Everything is simple. That's just to punt into the box. Second balls. Two big boys, McNeil acting pretty much as a third striker in there, but because of our high physicality, our speed, we're causing problems to defenders. Simple clip over the top, again. Lovely finish from Beto. I am lucky that I've got Beto, as I said, get him signed in your saves. All right, guys, that's it. I must say, this is the best tactic I have put together on FM23. Go and download it. Go and check it out. Go check out the Patreon as well. Muchly appreciated. Let me know what you would like to see over the next few weeks. Later on in the week, we are going to have a Red Bull Leipzig tactic. We're going to build it together. I'm going to show you how you put together kind of a 4-2-2 and the things that we're going to look at in terms of building a Red Bull style of play. We've also got the Pep Guardiola system where we're going to look at like a 4-4-2, a 3-5-2, what he's doing with his inverted wing backs and his centre halves at the moment. So that'll be a really good video as well. Any other suggestions, put them down in the comments. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Go and sign Beto. You will not be disappointed. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Take care. See you later.